Now, they weren't selling you shoes. They were selling you a self-image. They were selling you an identity. Why would you buy Nike? It's because you want to be one of those people. Gatorade, same campaign. They would show you those same athletes doing those same amazing things, but they're sweating orange sweat or blue sweat. And it said, Gatorade, is it in you? You don't know what's in Gatorade. You don't know how it tastes. You don't even care. But if Gatorade's the kind of drink us people drink, then I need some Gatorade. Now, wait a minute. Same basic concept as what's happening in all the ads for the Gap. You see, the Gap. A bunch of kids dancing around in these khakis. Khakis that look like anybody else's khakis. The Montgomery Wards, J.C. Penney, Sears, everybody makes khakis. So why are khakis from the Gap any better? Because these are good-looking kids doing some really cool dance moves. We don't know anything about the pants. Now, this is just fluff. This is nothing more than style. Just style. Style is the only thing being communicated here. There is no substance to any of these campaigns. Likewise, when you saw the Taco Bell campaign, you know, you saw the little dog. Oh, yo quiero Taco Bell. You know, wait a minute. That's just style. And the same thing with the little Japanese man and the dog for Nissan. Dogs love trucks. And you're sitting there and you're going, you know, and we don't know anything about the Nissan, but I like the little Japanese man. And the Jack Russell Terrier, that reminds me of Eddie on Frasier. Now, wait a minute. Those first three campaigns, I believe, are doing just fine. But those last two, the ones for Taco Bell and Nissan, danger, Will Robinson, huge problems, dangerous failures. Why? Because products that are mostly style can be sold with ads that are mostly style. You can sell fluff with fluff. But when a product has substance, it's the food you take into your body, the food you eat. You're thinking about nutrition, preservatives, cholesterol, fat, sodium. You're thinking about, hey, little chihuahua, tell me what's in the taco. I need to know what's in the taco. Now what happens is, when the product is an automobile, hey, you don't ask me for $20,000 and then not tell me about the car. I'll pay $50 for perfume. Obsession by Liz Taylor. And they show you these beautiful pictures and play some beautiful music. You can sell fluff with fluff. If the only thing you're trying to sell is an identity, a lifestyle, a cigarette, a soft drink, Gatorade, Nike, you're just trying to sell a statement of identity. And it's not a lot of money. You can sell that. You can sell pure style with pure style. You don't have to have substance. You don't have to have proof. It's just a look. It's just a feeling. It's just a smell. But hey, when we're talking about things with substance, make sure those ads have substance. It's a choice you have to make. You have to say, is what I'm selling style, or is what I'm selling substance? And if it's a little of the both, then make sure that the ads contain both. But most of the time in those ads, you'll see a lot of style and no substance. The seventh copy choice is a very tricky one. And this is the one to where it's the choice between correct and correct. It's the choice between right and right. But I have to tell you when pain is right, and I have to tell you when gain is right. Pain is right when you're face to face. Now, I have a lot of confidence and a great deal of belief in what's called the Sandler selling system. There's very highly paid consultants that teach sales training. Now, this is not an endorsement for Sandler because their advertising tends to underperform, but their sales training tends to be spectacular. And it's because they teach you to shoot little pain bullets. You see, Kahneman and Tversky were researchers at the University of Chicago who proved conclusively that speaking to pain in a sales presentation face-to-face was incredibly compelling. You see, the population of our nation is not drawn toward opportunity, they're drawn toward security. It's the very sad but simple truth. My favorite example from Kahneman and Tversky was this. A room full of people is told, you've been given a choice. You can have $3,000 cash right now. We'll give it to you. Or you can have an 80% chance at $4,000. 80% chance that you get $4,000, a 20% chance that you walk away empty-handed. Which will it be? 9 out of 10 people choose the sure $3,000. Oh, no, I don't want to lose the sure $3,000. Even though mathematically, option B is better. You see, the odds are you're going to get $4,000. Wait a minute. 80% times 4,000 is 3,200. There's your mathematical proof. But 9 out of 10 people say, no, I don't want to lose the sure 3,000. But when you reverse the question, You see, the fear of loss is compelling. The fear of loss is overwhelming. We will take risks to avoid loss that we will not take in the hope of gain. Now, when they reversed the question and they said, there's been a disaster, an unexpected disaster, and you have to come up with $3,000 immediately. It's going to cost you $3,000. You don't have a choice. You have to come up with it right now. Or there is option B. There's an 80% chance it's going to cost you $4,000. A 20% chance you get off scot-free. Now 9 out of 10 people choose option B. We will take a chance to avoid pain that we would not take in the hope of gain. When you're face to face, what do you have that you don't have in mass media? And I told you that most of the time there's a choice. This is the one time the choice has already been made for you. When you are face to face, yes, you can, if you want, speak to the pain, but never do that in mass media advertising. Never. Because in a face-to-face selling situation, when you put a person in touch with their fears, they do not have the option of just walking away from you. They do not have the option of just turning on their heel and marching off over the horizon. The rules of our society do not allow for that. But when they're sitting on the car seat listening to that radio, they have no such compunction about hitting the button. When they are sitting on the sofa watching that TV ad, they'll bang that remote the split second that an uncomfortable mental image enters their consciousness. Oh, this is unpleasant. Click. Oh, this is unpleasant. Bang that button. Now, what am I trying to say? While the fear of loss is far more compelling than the hope of gain, speaking to pain is very dangerous, as it conjures an unpleasant mental image. This image is very often what becomes associated with the product. I'll tell you, a number of months ago, there was a McDonald's ad on television for a while. A classic example of a very tragic strategic mistake. It was a patrol car shining the searchlight into the back of a bunch of car windows up at Makeout Point. And it showed, a bunch of steamed up windows, and every time the searchlight would shine into the back of the car, a guy and a girl would raise up, and they'd obviously been caught doing what their parents had hoped they wouldn't do. But you know what happened? Towards the end of the ad, they shine the light into the back window of this car. You see this guy, and it looks like he's really putting it on this girl, and he raises up, and he's a big fat guy eating a Big Mac. And everybody laughs, fat guy eating a Big Mac, and everybody else is making out. But who wants to be that guy? What is the real message of this ad? Big Mac. Consolation prize for people too ugly and unattractive to get a date. And that's really the ad here. Don't speak to the pain. I mean, everybody laughed, but nobody wanted to be that guy. Did you know how desperately Burger King was damaged a number of years ago in what's known as the Herb campaign? Some of you may be old enough to remember. Herb, pocket protector, the goofy glasses, the buck teeth, the high water pants, I mean, Herb was the guy that none of us wanted to be. And everybody laughed at Herb, and everybody thought it was cute, but nobody wanted to be Herb. And the longer they played those ads, the fewer people ate at Burger King. Now, not one of those who would say, well, the reason I don't eat at Burger King is because of Herb. No one said that. Intellectually, they found I'm just burned out on it. No. When the heart and the mind will follow, push away the heart, and the mind will find logic to justify the decision the heart has already decided. And the heart had decided, I don't want to be Herb. I don't want to go where Herb goes. I don't want to do what Herb does. I don't want to be that fat guy on Makeout Mountain, the only guy in the car without a date. So never, ever speak to pain, ever, in mass media. Maybe there's one time in 1,000 where it could be done intelligently. Maybe there's one time in 1,000 where you could do it and get away with it. Because there's really no such term as the word never when it comes to advertising. But please understand, when you're talking about pain in mass media, you're playing with nitroglycerin. But more about that in the next video.
That's all for this section. Don't miss the next installment of The Wizard of Ads Academy.